Like, this is very clearly not the way. This flag, these symbols, they represent white supremacy.
When you go to Oxford Street, the British flag is there. It doesn't mean that Oxford Street, Regent Street belong to the far right. It doesn't mean that. When you go to a football stadium, if it's England versus Germany, Germany, by the way, if you're trying to make this point, Germany really shouldn't have a flag then. I saw this video while I was scrolling on the toilet, as you do. I'd like to hear everyone's opinions, whether you subscribe to us on YouTube or you're following us on TikTok or whatever social media platform. We do love it when people comment. And yeah, a lot of characters out there have a lot of things to say. So let's get into this video.
This flag, these symbols, they represent white supremacy. They represent my parents were chased down the road by people waving both of these flags with me in a pram.
So it's representative of modern UK, which
No,
for all its flaws is a relatively successful, multi-ethnic, multiracial, multi-faith democracy.
Change the flag.
I like how his solution to the problem is change the flag. Change the flag to what?
People who are very fair-minded, very decent, they consider Britain to be their democratic home. And I don't think that's just the preserve of the white British mainstream. There are also people here who originate from other countries, create a sense of unity, common purpose, mutual obligations. Because as I said before...
I like how it's two brown men having this conversation and maybe me reacting to this. But I like how it's two people of color basically having this conversation. I like that.
You have to be able to cultivate a civic sense of belonging, and we should move into that direction.
To me, it sounds like this individual comes from a place of pain, and something happened in his past. He talks about when he was a kid, people chased him and his parents. He has associated those people and those negative actions with the flag. And that's why he speaks this way. He's not established the fact that those negative people are just negative people. Negative people perform actions on their own. They don't, whether the flag is there or not, they wouldn't chase you down the road. It didn't matter because the flag didn't tell them to chase you. Am I making sense? You know, Umbro, back in the day, they used to make the England kit for the English team, and the Paul Scholeses, the Lampards, the David Becks, they all used to wear Umbro. That was the official kit sponsor for the UK. And Umbro used to have, they had two designs, but the one that I have, the kit that I have, which is the point that I'm trying to make, it had the English flag on the shoulder. So technically, by this guy's logic, Umbro are a far-right football kit manufacturer because they put a far-right flag on the football kit. And I happen to own one of those football kits. So you cannot associate the person's negative actions with the flag because that is extremely unfair. There are loads of positive people that are very proud of the flag. When you go to Oxford Street, the British flag is there. It doesn't mean that Oxford Street, Regent Street belong to the far right. It doesn't mean that. When you go to a football stadium, if it's England versus Germany, Germany, by the way, if you're trying to make this point, Germany really shouldn't have a flag then. if you're really trying to argue this, Germany should have no flag. Like the German flag should just be like a transparent fabric. That's it. But if you go to the stadium and you go to an English versus France, that's another country. But if you see English flags all over the stadium, it doesn't mean that the stadium is full of far-right people. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're there to watch England versus Belgium. By the way, that's another country. King Leopold. That guy was absolutely insane. Like, Belgian people shouldn't have a flag. Because of his experience in life, and I feel for him, he's unable to detach those negative actions that have taken part in his history. He's unable to detach them from the visual flag. So in his brain, he has a visual of the flag, and the only thing that is attached to it is those negative actions. And that's the case for a lot of people. And I do feel for him because I do know a lot of people that feel the same way. Unfortunately for him, you cannot just change the flag. You cannot change the flag because you've had the bad experiences with certain individuals. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense or if I'm going around in circles. And if his solution to this is change the visual of what it looks like, that doesn't really stop anyone, because a far-right group will just take the new flag and be like, yeah, this is our new flag. I'd like to very much hear about it in the comment section, what everybody else thinks about it. By this man's logic, I shouldn't be wearing that Umbro kit. I shouldn't be, because my people will colonize. I shouldn't be wearing that Umbro kit. But guys, let us know what you think.